Hello from Cristiano Ronaldo International Airport at Madeira. I'm Patrick Hughes and this is Planet Patrick. I'm Patrick Hughes and this is Planet Patrick. Did you know that this airport has 4 names? Not only Madeira International Airport, that's 1, Funchal International Airport, 2, St. Catherine's International Airport is 3, 4th is Cristiano Ronaldo International Airport. Today I'm flying in business class with TAP Air Portugal. The flight number is TP1714 from here in Funchal to Porto in Portugal. Let's get going. I was having a slight panic attack when I was looking at Porto at 8:45 and wondering if I had misread my own ticket, but I hadn't. Happily, that's for tomorrow. There's just 3 more flights going tonight and mine is the last one out. 22:25 TP1714 to Porto. Check-in is open at gate 7. I'm going to pop up to gate 7 because I've upgraded to business and I want to double check what all of the benefits are and whether the lounge is open. I can see that there's only 1 gate agent and a massive queue, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go ahead through security. Here at the airport there might be 2 benefits, one being fast track, but if there's so few people checking in that's probably not an issue, and second the lounge, and I'm not sure if the lounge is open or not, so we'll go and find out about that next. The boarding gates are upstairs. Is that unusual? It's normally arrivals downstairs, departures upstairs, but downstairs here we have the check-in desk. Okay. There is a fast track back here, so we'll see if it works with business. I don't know if it will or won't. So the first potential benefit, fast track, wasn't available to people traveling in business. So that's good to know. That's very unclear on TAP's website. It appears to say that you're allowed to go through fast track. Anyway, there weren't many people going through security anyway, so it didn't matter. Security was a breeze. We're now looking at the 100 different kinds of Madeira wine that you can buy. And I'm trying to stop myself. The lounges are well signposted. Let's pop up there and see if the TAP Air Portugal one is open. I note that just out here, there's a massive smoking zone where people can pop out and have a cigarette after security. I know some people will care about that. Of course, I'm sad to see this. The TAP Premium Lounge here at Funchal is closed due to COVID. I know a number of other lounges, particularly at London Heathrow, are open again and operating under reduced numbers. That's certainly the case also, I think, for the TAP Lounge at Lisbon, at least. Maybe this is why my upgrade was pretty cheap. More on that coming up soon. I hope this means that they're still serving food on the flight. That would be very bad. This is the alternative lounge, the Atlantico Lounge, which is run by Air Portugal, and that is also closed. If you're flying from Madeira at some point long after I've posted this review, these lounges may well be open, but you're going to have to check on the Madeira Airport website, and that isn't 100% clear. Ironically, it's the smoking area here at Funchal Airport, which has the best views of the apron and tarmac. Behind me is a SkyUp aircraft, which is a Ukrainian low-cost airline. It's flying directly from here at Funchal to Kiev International Airport. Who'd have thunk it? There aren't many other aircraft around. There is a Binter aircraft down here, and right at this end of the tarmac, looking precariously out across the water, is another aircraft, and I'm not quite sure what that is because I can't see the livery from here. So coming back to whether this upgrade is worth it. With TAP, I already had seat 3A, no food booked, although there may have been a small meal served to everybody in economy. I've paid €100 to upgrade my flight, and I'm getting no benefits on the ground, no fast track, no lounge. So what is my €100 buying me? A slightly better meal, a seat 1 row in advance, in which case I don't think it'll be fantastic value. But let's see if maybe the experience is fantastic with TAP Executive. I did manage to find a soda. It looks like this flight is going to be an A320 in the standard configuration, 3-3 configuration. The first 2 rows are going to be executive class or business class, and I'm sitting in seat 2A. I'll be on the left-hand side of the aircraft for takeoff. It will be probably quite dark, but we should be able to see some of the lights during takeoff of Madeira. And then it'll be very quiet until we get to Porto because there's a lot of Atlantic Ocean in between. The distance is around 1,193 83 kilometers. The flight typically takes a little bit less than 2 hours, somewhere around 1 hour 45 minutes. We should be getting in soon after midnight if everything goes to plan. Let's hope it does. Is the incoming flight TP 1715, which is coming in from Porto. I'm about to dash down to the gate and get lined up so I can get on board and get back to Porto tonight. So the gate has just been given as gate 11. I'm going to make my way down there quickly. There aren't many people down here, to be honest. This is the TAP A320 for tonight's flight over to Porto. So, on we go. I think they're ready for us.
The TAP A320 seat configuration is 3x3, including in the executive row, where the seats are exactly the same. This armrest is fixed, as is the centre armrest. This primary literature area is also fixed, containing important information. This tray table could have done with a little clean, but it is very firm and big enough to take a small laptop. The secondary literature area contains a green sick bag, and I'm sure there's some kind of joke in there if I could think of it.
I'm very disappointed that these are absolutely standard A320 seats. There's no differentiation in business in terms of seat quality. I've been hoping for at least an IFE, a little bit more room, but I think what they're doing here is selling business as having a gap between you and the aisle seat if you're in the window seat. So I think the €100 extra is starting to look very expensive for my upgrade. This is a smart solution to hold a tablet. First you release this portion. Let me demonstrate with mine. A very dirty yellow one. And you flip this part up and your tablet is secured. Still not worth €100 extra. There is adequate power down here. It looks like USB-A plus a universal socket.
As the last few passengers board, my attention turns to the control panel above my head. There is adequate air which you can control yourself. I'm in favour of this. Thumbs up. There are individual lights and a call bell.
So far, also no welcome drink. Are my hopes too high? Small beverage.
There was nobody else foolish enough to pay for an upgrade in my row. But soon it was time for a bossa nova takeoff.
Salad with, I think, this might be chicken and ham and vegetables. There will be coffee with a fresh bread roll and butter. Some fresh fruit, looks like papaya and grapes. There's a refreshing towel and it's proper porcelain. So I mean that's something. And of course a pastel de nata. This tastes like old feet. There's nothing very unusual in here. It's super tiny like most of the A320 toilets, but let's have a look. There's a mirror. a sink, usual water pressure, an area for storing paper towels, handkerchiefs, and in here, refreshing towelettes. I'm going to take one of those.
This is a baby changing table for tiny, tiny babies, and a toilet big enough for very tiny people.
Toilet covers. Posh and flush. All set. Overall, this has been a very, very disappointing experience. This is not business class, not by any measure at all. Slightly sharper landing than expected. Tiny bit bumpy just as we came to a halt, but generally a pretty good and stable flight. I can't argue with that. That is, after all, the reason why we're all here. I would have been better sitting a couple of rows back and enjoying my €100 in my pockets. So that was flying with TAP in business. Now let's discuss the vaccination system for getting back into mainland Portugal. I had to fill out a passenger locator form and previously had to provide data for getting into Madeira but not Portugal. So let's see what's required here. It is past midnight and there's, I think, almost nobody else around. So this is interesting. A long walk to get to the baggage claim area, but not yet passport control or COVID checks. Perhaps they happen outside the airport as they did in Funchal. Let's find out. The answer, my friends, was no checks at all. No passport, no COVID. Yes, coming in on a domestic flight effectively from Madeira, but I did expect to have my passenger locator form checked. So that's unexpected. I can't emphasize enough that it's simply not worth the cash. Sometimes I love to see people traveling in business to see what little gifts or amenity sets or positive experiences that are created by the airline. In this case, the staff were really lovely, but they didn't have much to work with. Thanks so much for joining me for this episode of Planet Patrick. If you enjoy flight reports, please consider subscribing. It's free. And if you press the bell for notifications, you'll find out when I've posted a new flight report. In the meantime, take care of yourself and hope to see you again somewhere glamorous soon. Bye-bye.
I'm Patrick Hughes and this is Planet Patrick.